Hello and welcome to another SY Diagnostics video, and today we've got this rather nice 2020 Ford Focus Active that's got a multitude of warning lights on the dashboard but no other symptoms. Okay, so as you can see there, we've got loads and loads of warnings on the dashboard, and the steering wheel functions don't work. Horn works. So let's see what fault codes we've got, and let's see what we can do with this little job. Okay, so we've confirmed the fault. We now know that there's multiple warning lights on the dashboard, the steering wheel controls don't work, the indicators don't work, the wipers don't work. So let's connect Forscan and let's see what fault codes we've got. The advantage we've got with Forscan is that this can connect straight up to the Mark IV Focus and give us fault codes pretty much within 30 seconds, whereas IDS won't even communicate or work on the Mark IV Focus or the new Fiestas, and you have to go through FDRS, which is quite a lengthy process and not something that's available to everybody. So without further ado, let's connect Forscan and let's see what fault codes we've got. So we're connected up and it's now doing its network test. Straight away we can see we've got fault codes stored in quite a few control modules, and we've also got 3 modules so far where it says unable to read DTCs. We've got the power steering control module here, the gear shift module, and the steering column control module. So it's finished its network test, so let's see what fault codes we've got. So in the transmission control module, we've got lost communication, powertrain control module, we've got quite a few fault codes in there. Again, communication errors, NOx trap efficiency, lost communication with power steering control module, steering column control module, lost communication, NOx trap efficiency again, lost communication with instrument panel, steering column control module again. So we're building a bit of a picture here of quite a few lost communications with various modules, and the same ones tend to be showing their ugly heads again. Gear shift module, power steering control module, and steering column control module. So we're building a picture here. So yep, error. Going down now into the dashboard, the IPC, and again lost communications. I think we're starting to build a picture and some direction as to where to go with this. So what we're going to do next, we're just going to look at a little bit of live data. We're going to confirm whether or not we can see any live data in these control modules or not. So we're into the data login now. We're going to go into the control module. Which one are we in? Steering column control module. We're just going to delete some data PIDs that was there from a previous vehicle I was looking at. And what we'll do now, we'll just highlight every available data PID and see if we can read anything on the module. So the engine's running currently, and as you can see, we can't even start the data reading, and we're unable to run the data stream. Make sure the ignition is on and try again, which obviously we have done. So that confirms we've got no communications with that module. So now I'm going to exit out of there, and we're going to go into the power steering control module. No, we're going to go into the engine just to make sure that Forscan is working, just to be on the safe side. So the engine's running, so yep, that proves then the program's working. We've got communication with the powertrain control module. So we're now going to go into the power steering module. Again, highlight all the data PIDs, press start, and again we can't read anything. So we'll come out of there now and we'll go back to the vehicle. Okay, so as I said on my little Facebook post and in my community post on the YouTube channel here, I had a quick look at this on the night time, so it was the last thing I did before going home. Got to it this morning, let me just turn the ignition off. Got to it this morning, popped the ignition back on, and lo and behold, let it focus, everything's okay, which is a bit of a pain. Washer fluid light, obviously because the washer fluid is low. I'm now pressing the steering wheel buttons. Let me just turn the radio up quickly so I don't get a copyright. But as you can see, that's me pressing the buttons on the steering wheel, so everything's okay. So what I've done a network test, which I'll show you next, and everything on the network test appears to be okay. So next stage, I'm going to look at the wiring diagram. What I'm doing here, I'm just doing a network test. The computer sends a message to each of the modules on the vehicle. Then we can see a response, everything green, everything is okay. And we can also see that our 3 control modules are all on high-speed 2 network. Right, so we've got plenty of fault codes that we can go on. One thing I did notice as well, we've got 3 modules that aren't communicating. We've got the power steering control module, the gear shift module, and the steering column control module. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to concentrate on these 3 items to start with. The rest of the fault codes may well be symptomatic of these modules not communicating, or they could also be separate faults I'll need to identify at a later date. So what I've done, I've pulled up the wiring diagram for the module communication network, and as we can see on this particular vehicle, we've got now a gateway module, and this vehicle has 4 CAN networks. It's got high speed 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the traditional DLC plug, which is still accessible. However, the only ones we can access via the front of the DLC plug, the traditional way, is high speed 1 and high speed 2. If we wanted to scope high speed CAN 3 or high speed CAN 4, or even the medium speed CAN, so actually it's got 5 CAN networks, then we do have to use back probing methods into the back of the gateway module, or as I've shown in one of my other videos, I've made myself a breakout lead. Anyway, so this section I'm recording at home now after the event, after fixing the vehicle. May sound a little bit echoey because I'm doing this in my kitchen, which doubles up as a YouTube studio. So as we can see here, we've got the gateway module and we've got all the CAN networks. Previously we've found that the the power steering control module, steering column control module and the gear shift module are all on high speed 2. So they're on pins 3 and 11 of the DLC. and here we can see here and here we've got the can high and can low continued on the next page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the next page up, follow it along and keep following it until I can see these three particular modules. As I said, these are the ones I'm going to identify and address first basically, and see how we go from there. So I pulled the next page up now on the high-speed 2 network. As we can see, headlamp level control module, if it's got headlamp leveling, and we've got ABS, and ABS there, obviously whether it's got roll stability control or not. And as we can see, we still haven't got the power steering control module, steering column control module, or the gear shift module. So we need to move now to the next page and let's see what we've got there. Right, so this is the third page of the high-speed 2 network. As we can see, we've got restraints control module, which is the airbag module, vehicle dynamics module, that's for your adjustable shock absorbers, whether it's got this or not, I'm not sure. Image processing module, that's the front camera, that's if we've got adaptive cruise and all that malarkey. So as we can see, we still haven't got the modules that we're after, so we're going to go to the next page. Okay, so we've pulled up the final page now of the high-speed 2 CAN network, and as we can see, we've got the power steering control module, steering column control module, and the gear shift module. So these are all on the end of the line. Because we've got the faults with that one, and that one, I feel I can discount that multi-plug. So we may have an issue with these two crimp joints, little node joints as they call them. They'll be buried within the wiring harness somewhere, so they could be a potential issue. Or if we go back one page, there was another multi-plug where the dash harness, I think it is, meets the rest of the vehicle harness, the passenger cabin harness as they call it. I think this is an area where I'm going to concentrate, rather than pulling trims off and going towards the power steering control module or the gear shift module or the steering column control module. I think just by pulling the one trim off and accessing that multi-plug, I'm going to start testing there, I think. So what I'll do, I'll just pull the previous page up and show you that multi-plug. Okay, so we've gone back one page, and this is the multi-plug I'm going to concentrate on, which is C210, and we're looking at pin 17 for CAN high, I believe it is, and pin 18 for CAN low. So I'm going to locate where this plug is, see if we can access it, have a quick look visually, see if the pins are tight in the connectors, whether I can pull them out or not. Bearing in mind this is a nearly new car, hopefully looking at a potential manufacturing issue here, whether we've got slack pin grips or anything like that. So let's find out whereabouts it is and let's continue. Right, so I've pulled up the wiring plug location. As you can see, here we go, C210, and it's on the right hand side, so it's on the driver's side for us in the UK, and it looks as though it's in the kick panel area. So what I need to do is just take off the kick panel, access the multi-plug, and let's see if we can find any problems. Okay, so I've got the sill trims off and just got a little light wedged up. I'm having to work around the camera, so I hope you all appreciate this. I've got the ignition on, let me just peel that back. And as you notice, as soon as I tug on this connector, we get all the warning lights come on the dashboard, which you can see there. So that's showing hill start assist not available. So I think we're in the right area. So what I need to do now is just disconnect this connector, and let's look at the CAN wires that are in there, do a drag test, make sure they're all populated properly, whether they're all snecked in and nice and tight. So let me just disconnect this, because it's difficult to do when the camera's in my way. I'll get it disconnected for you and let's see what we can find. Just another quick one, guys, as well. Obviously now by touching this we can get the faults to materialize. So I've just done a quick network test, and what I'll show you next, the network test has failed on multiple modules, so I'm pretty certain now we're in the right area. So let's get it stripped. Okay, so we've got them both disconnected. That is the dash harness side, and this is the vehicle side. And what you can't see in here, and I'm going to try my very best to zoom in and get a decent shot of it, is that these two wires here, we've got a grey and blue and a, what is it? It's an orange and green, or green and orange. That's your high-speed CAN 2 network wires, which is where that's the network that these three control modules that are playing up are on. And when I turn it over, that wire there, green and orange, I don't know if it's CAN high or CAN low, not really interested, has a bent pin, so obviously it's not making contact. I'll try my best to get some light on it and zoom in and show you before I rectify it. So I'm going to straighten it up, plug it back together, delete all the fault codes, and we'll give it a wiggle and see if we can get it fixed for you. Okay, so I've straightened the pin, nothing really to see there, straightforward. Connected it back up again and secured the connector back into its slot. So what I'm going to do now, knock the light, give it a good tug, ignition's on, and as you can hear, or not hear, we've got no warnings. I've deleted the fault codes. So what I'm going to do now, do a network test. I'll show you the network test whilst I'm wobbling the connector. So I think I'm going to call that a fix. Okay, so we're all built back up, fault codes all deleted, network tests all passed. Let's just pop the ignition back on. We've got no issues now, so everything looks good there. Indicators work, which they didn't before, which I didn't show you. And also volume works, not going to do it too much because of the copyright issues. And then if I press this, press OK to get all the warnings off the dashboard, and I'm working the buttons and everything is working hunky-dory. So I reckon that's a fix. It was just a bent pin causing a intermittent connection every now and again. So job's fixed now, that's good. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Very close to 5,000 subscribers now, don't need too many to get there. So until the next video, cheers guys.